Hey everybody, and welcome back to Felsbrunn Revisited. Seems like this is a common trend as of late. Be doing some fertilizing contracts, but you know what? We need to get this fertilizer spreader fixed. We're only fertilizing at 8 miles per hour, and since the game basically slows down your implements if they need maintenance, and the way that the fertilizer gets applied, it gets applied on a kind of a time basis. So the longer it takes for you to traverse a field, well, then the more fertilizer is getting applied to the field. So we're wasting product. So let's get this thing fixed. Now we're running at 12 miles an hour. Nice and steady. Today we've got some stuff in store. We've got, of course, our horses now. So we have our daily task of riding our horses. Yippee for us. So we got 4 horses, so that's 20 minutes of my day right there. And then we've also got, hopefully, a weeding contract. I really want to get a weeding contract on field 19, which is the big field next to ours. It's got $93,000. This particular contract is going to kick us up over 100 grand. We need $70,000 more dollars. And then we'll be able to buy field 19, which is right next to ours. $174,000. And we can extend this field down this way a little bit and extend it back some more to this tree line to get a little bit more actual farmable land here out of field 19. But as luck would have it, it's seeded in oats. And you know what? We need oats. So it's a perfect field to pick up. We didn't have to pay to put oats in the ground. Now, it does have weeds, so that's why I'm hoping to get a weeding contract on it before the weeds grow to the next stage. That way we'll be able to, weed the field and therefore maximize our yield on those oats. Because the goal would be to buy that field before the oats are harvested. That way we can basically get free oats on top of our land. This video is brought to you by Comp Gamer. Thank you for being a farm baron. So I've been getting lots of good feedback on this Felsbrunn Revisited series, which is good to know. Glad lots of people are enjoying it, and I've heard several have picked up the challenge themselves to run out Farm Sim 19 with this kind of no mod challenge, if you will. I mean, if everything's got to be a challenge, then yeah, we'll call this a no mod challenge on Ravensport or Felsbrunn Revisited. Those are the 2 base maps. I suppose we could extend it to the South American map, which came out as a mod map right after the game released. That was the Platinum expansion map in Farm Sim 17. So we could extend it to that one if you were really so inclined to be on that map. And then I saw another content creator was doing another challenge that seems to be the popular thing as of late. A 100 contract challenge, which I started thinking to myself, well, that's funny, because we've done a ton of contracts here on this map. I wonder how close I am to that 100 count. And I was looking just before we started, and we're up to 55. This contract will make 56. So apparently I'm involved in a 100 contract challenge too. I didn't even know it, or it could be. So yeah, I think we're gonna definitely slow down on our contracts once we get a few more plots of land. At that point, I think we'll be pretty much set with respect to keeping our own land in order between harvest cycles, that we don't really need to mess with other farmers' land. But at the same point in time, you know, these contracts are a great way to get money. And when you're starting a start from scratch series with $500,000 and you have to literally buy everything, and one of the stipulations is you cannot take out a loan Oh my gosh, it's a debt-free challenge too. Let's see here. We're on a trifecta of challenges. We've got a debt-free challenge because we're not allowed to take out a loan. We've got a 100 contract challenge because, well, we're running a whole crap ton of contracts. And we're running a no mod challenge because, well, we're not using any mods other than Official Giants DLC. Now, the one mod I am using, which is the no HUD mod, not the no HUD mod, the no crosshair mod, gets rid of that circle in the middle of the screen because I just can't stand that little circle in the middle of the screen. But effectively, it doesn't really do anything as far as gameplay goes. There we go. Now we are lickety split over 100,000 bucks. Good deal. I mean, I guess we could even call it a survivor challenge. So now we're doing 4 challenges in one series because, as far as I understand, a quote survivor challenge is just a game where you don't go broke. I might be wrong there, but I've yet to really understand the infatuation with anything and everything that has the word survivor in it with respect to FS Farm Sim. I was going to say FS19, but really just it extends before FS19. I just don't get it. I think it's just playing the game and not going broke. Which, if that's a challenge, then you're probably playing it wrong. Because it's not that hard to not go broke in Farm Sim. Just saying. Alright. Time to start riding our horses. And thankfully we've got 4 horses. All different visual appearance. That way we don't have to worry about which horse we have ridden and which horse we haven't ridden. So we're just gonna stroll in this general direction. And if you've never done horses before, basically you need to ride them 10 minutes every day. And what you do is you get to the animal screen and you can see the percentage indicator here is slowly ticking up. What we're going to do is we're going to ride this particular horse until he's at 50%. We're going to turn him around and take him back to the pen. We're going to jump in our next horse and jump in our next horse. Yeah. We're going to jump on our next horse and basically do the same. And as we progress through the game, you'll see our horse speed, if you will, is at 15%. All of them are 15% because they're all the same age. Basically, every game day, if we ride the horse and we care for them, clean them, and keep them fed and everything, this percentage will increase every day until it is at 100%. And at that point, then we'll have $50,000 horses. And we'll be able to sell them for 50 grand a piece, pick up new horses for $5,000 a piece. So we're going to make $180,000 every 10 days just off these horses. On the subject of contracts, why don't we just go ahead and hammer out a few transport contracts while we're at it. Quick way to rack up those contract counts is to do these transport contracts because, well, quite frankly, they are quick and dirty. So this one, we've got to transport 2 pallets of what looks like milk totes, right? Milk jugs, for whatever reason, from here over to the sawmill, which is over across the map, but it's only 2, so it won't take too terrible long. Now there is a fair bit of speculation with respect to pallet physics, bale physics in FS22. Is it going to be improved, or is it still going to be a little bit wonky like it is in 19? You know, we've seen, even in this playthrough, where we've had pallets get stuck on the forks, and it's really frustrating, right? It's really frustrating as a player to try to get those pallets off the forks when just for whatever reason they seem to be grabbing on. Now, we've seen in a fact sheet a couple weeks ago of a brand new forklift that is going to be in game, and this brand new forklift appears to have the ability to shift the forks wide to narrow, and it looks like possibly also to have the ability to shift the whole forks left and right, the whole assembly slightly to the left or slightly to the right on the forklift itself, which is great because a lot of these forklifts in real life have that level of adjustment, so that if you pull up onto a pallet and you're not quite lined up, you know, you can shift the forks left a little bit, shift to the right a little bit, and get them more centered. Or if you're on a pallet that has the the fork holes, whatever you want to call them, the fork spacing, the pallet spacing, if it's wider or narrower, or maybe you're picking up an IBC tote or something else where it makes sense to have the forks closer together or wider apart, those forklifts have that capability. So it's nice to see that is coming to FS22, hopefully, because it looked like in the fact sheet picture, the forks were real close together, and in fact, the pallet was being transported from the side as opposed to the front. And let me see if I can't kind of quickly show you that. So we have the spacing here, but then, and this is typically the front, but it looked like they were transporting it here from the side as opposed to the front, and how they were basically putting it on the trailer. So they had put those forks closer together in order to fit the spacing of the side of the pallet as opposed to the front of the pallet, which is going to be quite handy because, you know, on mod maps, how many times have you had an issue where pallets, like for production or even pallets for wool, the map author has rotated the spawn point 90 degrees in such a way that the pallet spawns sideways, and trying to get into the front of the pallet is pretty awkward or sometimes nearly impossible. So having the ability to move the forks in and out will really be a benefit for everyone. So this particular contract is going to pay us, I think, just $1,300. Not a huge amount of money, but when you figure that it's probably about 5 minutes time and effort to pick up 2 pallets and haul them across the map, then it is pretty easy money. So it's going to come up here to what the map calls the Carpentry Shop, which is this little building over here. And of course, in FS22, the Carpentry Shop will be a bit more essential to the overall gameplay, because the Carpentry Shop is going to be a production element, and the Carpentry Shop is where you're going to be able to produce furniture items, a finished good that should be able to be sold for, you know, quite a nice little profit. And they also are going to produce wood chips as a side effect that, you know, they're probably going to be able to use and sell wood chips also. So there we go. The autosave finish. Come on. $1,300. And I've got another transport contract here. A bit more expensive, $2,100. I'm going to go ahead and take that. It's handy because it's the Port Southwest, which is just back where we just came from. And we need to take it from Port Southwest over here to a building by the railroad silo east. So yeah, let's go see what's involved with this one. Contract. All right, we've got 5 pallets. That should be pretty straightforward. Should be able to put 4 on the trailer here, and then 1 on the forks. And get them over across the map. I mean, the other thing that makes transport contracts here you can see we're coming in at the side, right? Kind of like I mentioned, the won't let us. Doesn't look like it'll let us fork it from the side, either because the spacing's not right or those particular pallets, they just have a collision there. But what I was going to say is transport contracts overall are fairly cost effective, because the cost to get into being able to do a transport contract is fairly low. I mean, you need a tractor, and you don't need a big, powerful tractor for this. You can have a fairly modest tractor of the low horsepower rating. You need front loader arms and forks. Now we're using bale spikes. I mean, to be proper and everything, we would need pallet forks as opposed to bale spikes, but it costs the same amount of money. So you need forks, and then you need a trailer. And the cheap trailer, the Stratum in here, it can easily be converted to a flatbed for the purpose of, let's see, we're gonna get those pallets stuck here. It needs to be converted to a flatbed to transport pallets, and then converted back to a traditional trailer to transport grain. So you just have a single pallet then. See, this is where we get into that wonky pallet physics of 19, right? Now, as a way to kind of correct the crazy pallet physics, there was a mod that came out early in FS19. It still can be found over at modhoster.com. So it is a PC-only mod because of the fact that it is not on the Giants Mod Hub. But what this mod did to kind of go around the wonky pallet physics and things is, it was called Easy Unload Pallet Forks and Easy Unload Bale Forks. And the way the mod worked is you could hit a button, X I believe, on the pallet, on the forks, and what it would do is it would turn off the collisions on the forks. So if you had a pallet that was stuck on the forks and you couldn't get it off, well, you just hit the button to disable the collisions. The pallet would fall right to the ground, because what it was stuck on was the collision of the forks. And if you turned the collision of the forks off, well, then there was nothing for the pallet to be stuck on, and therefore it just fell to the ground. Oh, looks like we took out a road sign. Oh well. So that was a really cool mod that came out, and early on I used it quite a lot, pretty much in every playthrough. Speaking of wonky pallet physics and pallets stuck, there we go. So easy unload pallet forks. If pallet physics frustrates the living bejesus out of you, and you're a PC player, then maybe look that mod up between now and November 22nd and try to use it. Again, it's over at modhoster.com. That's where the mod author uploaded it to. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple mod. But again, I don't say that from any negative standpoint. I say that from a standpoint of it doesn't try to do anything too fancy. You know, it all it tries to do is alleviate a problem, which is where pallets get stuck on forks. They get crazy, or you know, they get wonky, and next thing you know, they flip all over the place. So easy unload pallet forks. I did a mod review on it. Like I said, it probably came out a few months after FS19 release, so it was probably in either December or January or February of December of 19 or January or February of 20 when well, I guess really it was December of 18, right? Because Farm Sim 19 came out in November of 18, and then or January, February of 19 is when that came out. Because I remembered the mod author was actually someone that was playing with me on a multiplayer server. It was a Polish map. It's one of the first multiplayer maps we did in 19, and we were doing a pig farm. So yeah, go check it out. Easy unload pallet forks and bale forks. Let's just check field 9. Field 9, no. All right, well, we'll go ahead and do set. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and get back to the farm, get the fertilized spreader, and head over to field 9, get that field fertilized, continue to rack up the bank account. Like I said, I've got two kind of goals going on. One is to buy a harvester, buy the 330 harvester, the Rostel Mash harvester. I think I have enough money to do that right now, actually. Oops. I need 105,000 and I got 108, so I technically have enough money to do that right now. I did go ahead and buy the header. I don't know if I did that in last week's video or if I just did that off camera, but I do own the header now. I just don't have the harvester. Or the other goal I have is to have enough money to buy field or plot 19, which is the plot right next to mine. It's in oats, right? So it would just be a natural, this field right here, it would just be a natural, it looks like the AI farmer has weeded already, so that's good. So if I can buy this plot right next to me, I need $174,000. So I need another $70,000 plus. Then I would need to have enough money to lease the harvester. So really I would need probably about 90 grand to have some buffer between now and when the crop comes to ready to grow, ready to harvest. So I think for that I'm gonna have to have some pretty high value harvest contracts, or get really, really lucky with some fertilizing contracts, because that is an awful lot of money to earn in a fairly short time period, because those crops are growing and they're growing mighty quick. So guys, I want to thank you for coming out and watching today's video once again. This is the Felsbrunn Revisited series, where we are playing with just DLC and Giants base game equipment. We're going to try to keep this play series up, see how far we get between now and the release of FS22 on November 22nd. If you are looking to pick up a copy of Farm Sim 22 and you haven't done so yet, well, you can take a look down in my description. There are several affiliate links down there you might want to take a look at. But before you do that, we are giving away 2 more copies of Farm Sim 22 with the next giveaway on October 22nd. So be sure to check out a live stream for links on how to do that. And until next time, happy farming.